more like continuing your PlayStation hate speech. Con, you're going to be kicking us off for your thoughts on the news/showcase. We had a 9-minute presentation on Tuesday, was it?
Yeah.
It would have been Tuesday night. Showing off the PlayStation 5 Pro. It was rumored. We finally got to see it. 9 minutes of waffle is the best way to describe it. But Con, kick us off with your early thoughts.
Well, you've hit the nail on the head. It is absolutely 9 minutes of waffle. They've, for something that was titled as a tech, what was it? A tech
preview.
Tech
I can't remember the
preview or something.
Yeah,
they gave it
like
a really technical sounding name, and they've given no actual details in that sense. They've given us ballparks and percentages. They've not given us anything to base off of.
It sounds like
The
a
big thing
GPU
that-
reveal.
The big thing that pissed a lot of people off was the use of a 10-year-old game as like the showcase of what the new console could do. Why using The Last of Us to show off your new PlayStation 5 Pro?
It's one of the best games of all time.
Yeah, cool. Show us something from this decade. Show us something from this year. That's weird. And the big thing that me and you were talking about, and I think we got our wires crossed over messages slightly, is I don't understand where this fits in the gaming ecosphere. You've got consoles like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, which are £500-ish. We'll just say, I think it's like £400 to £500 for a brand new one. Sweet. The kind of people who want to spend that much money to be able to game will get one of them. The kind of people who want to spend £700 a game would rather get the PlayStation 5, which is still a phenomenal good console, that based on the way last generation is still being treated, games are still going to be made to run smoothly on this generation in probably 8 years' time. And then you've got £200 to spend on games. Or if you care about specification that much to want the newest, most powerful thing, you're going to look at £700 for that, not including the disk drive and stand, which adds like another £100+ onto it. And you're going to go, fuck it, for £812 or whatever it is to get the whole thing, I'm going to go buy a PC that's going to have a third. Like, my PC is probably worth about £800 now, based on like what me and West have been discussing. This can run Cyberpunk, which is like the benchmark for difficult to run PC game at the minute. Ultra settings with like decent level of ray tracing on it at 60 FPS. Like, there's some big, like, I don't understand who this console is for, apart from people like me who like to be able to play everything at launch and have more money than me to spend on that stuff.
Oh,
that's my I don't understand where the product exists.
This is for either the diehard PlayStation fans, or the console gamers that have like a 10K freaking TV that does 4K. Like, it's the people that have a lot of money but love to game, but their realm of gaming is console, so they're like, oh, why wouldn't I just get the most top of the line PlayStation?
Maybe this is just a me thing. Where are them people?
Oh, there is plenty of those people.
Is there though?
Yeah.
That play something other than Madden and FIFA? Because the people you're discussing with the big fucking TVs just play the sports games.
Yeah, and they'll still buy a PlayStation Pro.
I don't think they will. I think a lot of people who are going to play the sports games will spend that £200 on fucking FIFA points.
I think people love to have the top line spec.
Yep.
It's why people buy iPhone Pros.
People don't need the Pros. They don't need me. I get this 16 tomorrow. People don't need the Pros. They want the Pro because it says Pro, because it's the newest and best thing.
People just love having the top spec stuff, so they're literally playing into this market of.
Maybe and based on like the reaction online, I think they might miscalculate it slightly.
I think the average gamer doesn't care. But the thing is, the amount, I can guarantee there's plenty of people that are probably like, oh, this is crazy expensive. When it comes out, they'll probably quietly go and buy it anyway. There's plenty of people that will act one way online and still go buy it.
And there is a lot of hate, but the price is warranted. The outrage to the price is warranted.
Yeah.
The big thing as well, which someone picked up on, which might be a bit nitpicky, but I can also see their concern around it, is they said, the system can target 4K 120. And it's like, okay, so how close does it get to that target? It's always a big problem when they use quite wishy-washy, especially when you're going to brand this as a technical demonstration. You don't give actual numbers and you use words like, we're aiming for and targeting. It's like, okay, what am I actually getting?
Here's my thing always been with consoles. It's like, they'll say, oh, this can do 4K 120 FPS. It's like, cool. That doesn't matter if the devs of the game aren't making your game run at 4K 120 FPS. Like, they can say, like, sure, the hardware plays, and this is sort of defending PlayStation, like, they can put the hardware there, but if the devs don't use it to the full capability, that's not really on them.
But this goes back to what I was saying previously of, there are still being games made for the base PS4 and the base Xbox.
Which is stupid.
As we know from the way developers do things, they cater to the lowest common denominator, so they make sure them consoles can run these games, which means, like you said, you're not going to get anything extra from the PS5 Pro right now. Honestly, best bet, even if you want it, don't buy it, wait 6 months. If everyone does that, it will come down by 100 quid. You'll have more games being made that are actually worth it for it by then buy it. Save yourself £100 and have more ready to go on it.
It is a hard one because obviously the price is stupid, and I'm pretty sure the price difference between the Pro and the normal wasn't as much as the PS4, but the PS4 Pro, a lot of people that got speculation on launch and ended up selling shitloads. It is a hard one.
$400 4 years ago.
It is hard.
And also, if that was 2020, that would have been coming into COVID as well. And a lot of people went out and bought games consoles and PC components during COVID.
I think it'll sell better than people realise.
Oh, it'll sell better than the internet thinks. Absolutely.
100%.
But I think unless you are like, I want to get back into gaming, this thing's new, I'll get it. I'd say hold off for 6 months, and I promise you will get it cheaper, because they will cave.
I just think the funny thing will be when this is the PS5 Pro now. It's like, okay, they've literally done every version of the PS5 that they can, so they're obviously going to be working on the PlayStation 6 next.
The 6 will be the next console from Sony, unless they do a designated handheld that isn't cloud gaming, essentially like a Vita PSP situation. I can't imagine there being another PS5 Pro Slim or whatever.
I've always thought mid-cycle refreshes for consoles is a bit weird anyway. So
it's just like everything.
It feels more like because we know PlayStation take a loss on their PlayStation 5s, PlayStation 4s. It feels like they have to do a mid-cycle refresh in the hopes of making up that money. Because if they would have released this exact same thing at launch of the PS5 instead, but at 600 instead of 500, they would be worse off. So they have to do it this way. I think this literally just exists to try and bring down the margin on how much they lose from the base model.
Well, and this is just this is just the console cycle now. So they know it works, so why would they change?
And I think I did see a funny tweet that it goes with everything. Everything gets so much hate nowadays. It's like, if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. It's there. It's no one's forcing you to buy it. If you want it, you want it. If you don't, you don't. And I think so many people are just getting so angry about it that fair enough. If it doesn't appeal to you, if the price is too much, just don't buy it if you don't need it.
I do agree overall with the sentiment. I think there's a big difference here, though. I would say don't send hate to anyone who's excited for it and wants to buy it. But it's absolutely fine to let the company know that you disagree with that. So if someone wants to tweet and go, Sony, that is not what I'm looking for, and like loads of people are like, that's not for me, I don't see a problem with that. But if you tweet out whenever the pre-order goes live, so happy I've got my PS5 Pro, no one should be giving you shit for it because it's your money that you've decided you want to spend on that. I think that's a big difference. It's absolutely fine to go, that's not for me, but don't give people who are like, oh, that is for me,
excited for it.
Yeah. That's when people are being weird, and that needs to stop.
So, on that note, will anyone here be buying a PS5 Pro?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Day one. I'm buying 6.
Anymore.
The funny thing is,
back in its box under my bed.
The funny thing is, I was interested originally. I've got a day one PS5 that even if there was a Pro, I wouldn't have sold this one. I would have kept the day one edition just because I'm a bit of a nerd like that, and would have bought a PS5 Pro. And I still think if it was
Won't keep his games.
600 quid, I would have been tempted. I'd love so at the minute on PS5 games you get the choice of fidelity or performance. Performance is much smoother, 60 FPS, doesn't look as good. Fidelity looks better, runs at 30. This is essentially combining the two, so you can play like 4K 60 FPS. I would be there. I normally play on performance mode and have to suffer at the visuals. I do think if this was £600, I would be swayed, but the extra 100 without a disc drive, because I use physical media, I buy everything on disc. Yeah, you're looking at 800 quid, because I'm pretty sure the disc drive in the UK is £99.
Yeah, and
So I'm
then it's
looking at
another 25 for the
quid.
stand as well,
So you get 825 quid for a full setup.
which is insane.
Come GTA 6, I could be there because I'd want that thing looking as good as possible. But for
when we
now,
all have to pay 100 quid for GTA 6.
I will be there regardless, mate.
Real question though, just on that. Where's your PC? Where's your PlayStation set up? Is it in the front room or is it in your office?
At the minute, it's right next to me here.
Cool. What's your monitor's resolution?
240 hertz. Something I can't remember the full specs of it.
Cool. So it's not a 4K monitor. So you're not getting 4K anyway. And this is the thing.
If I play it here, yeah.
How many people actually have
downscaled is still better than
like it is better. It is not that noticeable to the majority of people. And
Yeah,
like even a lot of 4K TVs that people might have bought 5 years ago don't support HDMI 2.1, which is needed for 4K on the TV from the console anyway. So there are going to be a lot of people who buy this who are going to then go, it doesn't look any different. And it's because their TV doesn't have... A lot of people would have to spend probably in the neighborhood of $2,000 to actually be able to get the most out of this console right now.
I think there's plenty of those people that will.
Oh, maybe there is, but I think there's just as many people who will buy this console and then complain when it doesn't look any better because they've not realised they need a new TV.
I actually think there's more people that will buy it and think it looks better, even though it probably doesn't.
Oh, the placebo's going to go
effect.
crazy. Yeah, for sure.
It's fine. PC Master Race. Don't have to worry about consoles.
Yeah, boy. I'm so excited for my PC upgrade.
What nerd.